the education station.
Oh my God, it looks so clear. I can't wait to shop.
I see a lot
Yes,
of things.
ma'am. Okay. How are you, friend?
I'm doing great.
Good. This is my pre-K teacher, Miss Jasmine.
Hey, Miss Jasmine.
How are you? Oh my God.
All aboard the education station. Hey, and good afternoon to you all. Hey. So we're back again on this beautiful Thursday to talk to Miss Natali. Hey. So I wanted to introduce her first and go and get out the way, but I just want to talk to you guys first. First, let me make a big announcement. So as you have seen on our Facebook pages, the Education Station, the YouTube channel, please make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel, okay? But we're getting ready for our first business pop-up event. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in the middle of the segment, but I just want to go on and get it out right now while it's fresh on my brain, okay? So June the 10th from 12 to 5, we will have our first business vendor pop-up, and it's free. Say what, girl? Free. So please make sure that you click on the link in our on the Education Station. We'll make sure we have the link here for you as well. If you're a business owner, come out, support other business owners as well. So I want to say again, thank you. Good afternoon, good evening. I've been up all day, I feel like. How about y'all? So first up, I want to just say thank you so much for coming on to our podcast and tuning in. But I want to thank Miss Natali for just saying yes. I say what? I said, you say yes? You wanna talk to me? So we're gonna get behind the scenes of what's going on with Miss Natali. Where she been at? Where you been at? So she's gonna give us a little background for her. Tell us about you and what you got going on, and just go ahead.
Okay, well, my name, most of you guys may know me either from Childcare Boss Marketing or as me going as Natali Moore. Well, within these few years I've been MIA. I got remarried, had a new grandbaby. When COVID first started, we had a lot of death in the family, and I lost one of my closest friends for over 20 years, my best friend. And then right behind is like we kept losing family members. So I just took a mental break. I being so much in the public eye, it was taking a real toll on me. So I just spent a little bit more time with my family. That's where I've been, basically. Mm-hmm.
I can understand that pandemic, man. I feel like we lost the whole 2 or 3 years. Like everybody be like, what happened in 2019, 2020? It's like it never happened. Like that year just never happened. A lot of people, lost loved ones and businesses and some more things. So, and again, I'm sorry for your loss and condolences to everybody. Everyone. But I feel the pandemic put a stop on a lot of people, like business wise. And I got a question. I know we jumping right in, so I have a quick question. With the pandemic, did it make you, when you said you set back, because I wanted to name this segment the biggest comeback, because I can't wait till you talk about it, baby. The biggest comeback. That's what I really wanted to title it. But you said you set back and had to reevaluate a lot of things. God first, family second, career and everything else. And I think that's what the pandemic did for a lot of us childcare owners. We had to really sit back and evaluate a lot of things that was going on in our businesses, meaning like how we're going to do enrollment, how we're going to, increase, or what was our exit plan for some of us. Some of us had to figure out an exit plan because, like you said, we lost a lot of loved ones from 1 week to the next to the month, and you just couldn't keep up. So during that time, did you ever think you was gonna go back into childcare, or was you just gonna hang it up and say somebody else can do it?
Well, I never stopped childcare. But what ended up happening is we did close down 2 centers because of the pandemic. Most of those 2 centers were cash only. So everything that was cash only, of course, people stopped working. It made no sense to keep it going. Now, the one that I kept open was the one that Mainly 80% of it was state funded, federal funded. It was my very first commercial location. And those that stood with me, I just combined everybody into that one location. So business kept going. And then I dove more into the fashion world, because we do have a plus size boutique. Lately, we just been doing it online because we're going through another transition. I just focused on that. I focused on my children, my household as a whole, and my mental health, not only for myself, but for my staff, because I had to let go of 50% of my staff that was with me. Most of them didn't come back, in which I totally understand, but they went on to bigger and better things. And I just we keep building. So when I decided to come back in January, where actually that thought came back into my mind, like in November of 2022, God kept saying, it's time for you to go back into childcare, the coaching, because I kept getting people in my inbox, old clients kept saying, "Are you coming back? I need your help." And it was just speaking loudly to me. So I did a soft launch coming back in January. And it's leading us to different avenues. So I'm excited about it. I missed this side of the business. I cannot even deny that. I miss talking to other childcare business owners about where they are in their business or where they need to be, etc. So far,
Yes, and I was following you for a while, and then that's why I said when I noticed that you came back, and my PR manager, everybody was like, "Hey, we got a couple of people that we need you to do a podcast with," and I seen your name on there, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, she back in childcare?" Like I didn't know, I did not know, so I was like, "Okay." She said yes. She said yes, okay, but we're gonna move on. But I wanted to hit something when you said you never gave up. You kept running your daycare center during the pandemic. And there was a lot of daycare centers that literally just absolutely shut down. But I like when you said, I switched to a different revenue. So that was me. That's how I came up with the education station. During the pandemic, I was sitting at home and I was saying, my niece and my goddaughter was sitting there. I mean, my niece and my daughter was sitting on the floor doing a coloring worksheet. And honey, they was tearing up all the printer paper. I was like, look, I'm tired of printing these little workbooks. Then I got a bright idea. I was like, I can create my own workbooks. I can sell these to parents that is struggling right now, that's trying to find how to engage with their kids while they at home. And so, boom, that's when the education station took off and we started selling curriculum boxes. So I started packaging the curriculum boxes and putting stuff together, and I was like, okay, this gotta work. And I was getting feedback from a lot of parents that was like, hey, they like the workbook, they like the activities. And I was nervous at first because I was like, man, I ain't know what I was doing, what to put together. And my coach, we was putting stuff together. She was like, nope, don't do this, don't put this in, do that, and everything. She was like, do it online. I'm like, nah, I want to be in person. I'm a people person. I like to touch people, see people reaction. As you see, I'm very excited. So I like to see people reaction when they buy stuff from me. Because online is kind of like, who is I'm buying from? So now that you see who the education station is and how we were from, how we started, you like, oh, wow. Yes, it started in my home, in my she cave. That used to be my home daycare. So I done ran 2 businesses inside of that house. You know what? Nah. I just thought of that. Man, I done ran some businesses in that house, but I like that you kept going, you kept hustling, regardless of, hey, I'm not gonna let this be a setback. I'm gonna still continue to move, just the same way as you said. I lost some of them staff members, but you gained a lot of other things. You a plus size online boutique, man, that was needed. You know how many women probably was like, man, I need an outfit, I need this, even though we weren't going nowhere. But we still like to look cute while we was in the house, right?
We was actually doing the boutique before the pandemic. We was just, it's like soon as we started making some movement with it, that's when COVID hit. So we had the slowdown, we had the store, we had it up and going. We just closed down the boutique, the physical store, in September of last year, and went solely online. And then I moved everything into our corporate office. Now, I got some stuff brewing because we're gearing up at the end of the year to reopen my store because I miss going. I call it my walk-in closet, my boutique, because I'm able to go and get anything I want. And when I see something online that I like that I want to sell in the boutique, because everyone, I know I wear little cute pieces. I'm a walking billboard, walking advertisement.
Yes.
You like this? It's available now. Go ahead and get that. So
I followed. Sidebar. I followed her when she started working out, and I was like, "Yep, that's motivation right there." I just looked at you work out. Maybe one day I'm gonna get there and start working out. But then now I'm starting to work out, and it feels wonderful. Like you feel, your best when you can get up, work out, and take that energy elsewhere. But I got another question for you, my friend.
come on.
What steps do you take to attract and retain qualified staff? So we're going to stick on that because you were saying that some of your staff moved down, after the whole pandemic. How did you regain some staff members and start, knowing what to hire?
You want to know the truth? And here in San Antonio, I have a lot of people that loves my drive. So I've already had people already following me. So once I put out an ad, okay, I'm hiring, I have people that already want to study under me. So that's why some of my non-disclosures actually come in before I hire people, because if I hire you in my center, this can't happen, you can't speak about this. It's very detailed. It's something that my lawyer had drafted up. I end up getting people like that, people that's already following me that need a job, they're in the area. And then if we don't do it like that, my daughter, who's my director, and I call her she's my partner. Let me say my daughter is my partner in business. Because when everything closed down and I wasn't emotionally and mentally capable of running a daycare, my daughter stepped in and took over. So she did a lot of the hiring also. So when I prefer to hire people that don't have any experience because they're not set in their ways and they're trainable. So
I had to laugh because that's what me. Yeah, we just had that conversation, and Miss Kathy said, "I like what you said. They want to study underneath you," and that is the truth. Like I just literally said out my mouth, it's like I got all these pieces in my head, and I'm glad you said the contract too, because I didn't even think of that. Natalie. I didn't even think that I need a disclosure form because of the things that goes on here.
You need a non-compete and a non-disclosure. Those are two separate entities. The non-compete, I've hired people in the past that became directors just to find out that they only came in to see how I run my operation and wanted to open another daycare. And this particular director, won't say any names, she ended up opening a daycare within the same zip code. Basically trying to transfer the kids that was enrolled in my daycare to put in hers. So I'm glad that situation happened because she gave me the inspiration to do a non-compete. So before you even start one day, you need to sign this and you need to sign that. Now I had some people in the past that tried to test my gangster when I said, when you sign this paperwork, these are legal documents that's drafted by my lawyers. If you make you talk to them and we'll deal with that. Okay, because anybody
that basically say my hands off, let them do it.
Let them handle it. And I've had that same director because she signed not that one, but another one a little later, had to take her to court. Her and my lawyers deal with it. I went on with my daily business. Every child that disenrolled from my facility that went to her, she has to pay me for that because that's money lost, that's stealing. So I take my business very seriously. So if I'm hiring somebody, not only before I even put them in the classroom, they're training with me for a month personally. Then I pair them up with one of the leads or the directors, and then I have them in the classroom. So I'm already kind of knowing what kind of style of teaching that they're going to be doing inside of my classroom. I am very big on, even though I am hiring you, if you're only coming here for a paycheck and it shows, I might have to let you go because this is going to be nothing but a problem. People that you hire in your business and they're only there for a check, they won't teach. They're just basically babysitting. And that's why I've been, for the last 2 weeks, I have been saying teachers versus babysitters. I don't hire babysitters. I hire teachers. Okay. Babysitters only show up for a check. Teachers show up to not only get paid, we get that part, but to make a difference in the children's lives and a big impact in the children that you're caring for, because you have these kids more than their parents most of the time. Let's get into it.
Ooh, let's get into it, because that right there, look, I'm over here. I say, ooh, I want playing double dutch. So, what you want me to do? So I really hold on. I want y'all to first tap in, like, share, and subscribe. I need you to share this because, honey, she's sitting here giving y'all the whole tea. Now, some of y'all daycare providers scared to talk up. Some of y'all scared. Y'all know she's telling the truth. Go on and share it to you other people, the people that's you want to get into this industry and you really want to know what's the behind the scenes, what really goes on, what I need to do to start a daycare. She's telling you right now. Like, subscribe, share. The people that's viewing this, click on in, baby. You ain't got to watch from the other side of the page. Just go ahead, click in, comment, let us know how you liking everything. Thank you, Miss Kathy. Like, share, and subscribe. Our YouTube channel as well. You can share our YouTube channel. It'll be reposted again, so you'll be able to see it again. But let's go back into this real fast, because you said a mouthful, first of all, but I want to go back to that babysitting versus the teachers, because first of all, of course, y'all know I'm gonna share this product. So this is one thing I use for when I'm doing my hiring. Okay, if they can't pull up a bulletin board set or can't tell me what this product really is, what they can do with this product, what they can teach the children with this product, this is a tester. This right here. All you have to do in that interview process and say, here, tell me what you'll do with these stack of cards. These is a stack of cards and it got the numbers on it. Tell me what you can do with these stack of cards. If they can't pass that test, then you know, okay, but are they trainable? Are they coachable? Or are they set in their own ways, like you just said? So we dealing, and we just had this. We dealing with the generation that are sometimes they set in their own ways. They don't want to be told no or what to do or how to do it or anything else. And that's your babysitters. Because they used to watching auntie and cousin them kids. And when you're in a real establishment, work environment, you start getting like, oh well, I need my job, I need to pay, I need to do this, I need to, my pay need to be this amount. See, that don't nobody want to speak the truth on that part, because see, we deal with it. We in the industry, we deal with it. We always been looked at as babysitters instead of looking at as the first educator in a child's life.
Amen. We
actually the ones that set that groundwork for your child. That's why I said like. I had the same conversation with a parent today. Baby, it's hard work to sit there. We have a school system here, Hampton County. I'm going to say it. And a lot of teachers have 20 kids in the classroom. 26 kids. And a parent wants us to just socialize with that one kid. We can't. It's not possible. So when we're gonna come right back. And I got a few more questions for you, Nelly. This time, we going deeper.
Okay, let's go.
Moving back to school is fun. Sarah and her mother are so excited about the reopening of the school. But one thing that is bothering both of them is that Sarah has not yet picked up the necessary school supplies, which can cause her to have problems learning effectively. Meanwhile, Sarah calls her best friend Julia to find out if she has restocked school supplies. Sarah finds Julia so excited as she has already packed her bag with all essentials from the Education Learning Express at a lower price as compared to the market rate. Listening to this, impatient Sarah also convinces her mother to restock her school supplies from the exact place as Julia. Holding a supply list in hand when Sarah enters the Educational Learning Express, balloons with happiness to see everything from A to Z over there. Sarah's mother is finally relaxed to have the opportunity to do school shopping from a one-stop shop that not only saves her time and energy, but money too. From school bags to copying papers, color pencils to paintings, book covers to glue, water bottles to a variety of lunchboxes, and everything in between. Educational Learning Express has covered them completely, left both the mother and daughter fully satisfied and ready for the school. If you also want to be worry-free like Sarah and her mom, don't delay restocking school supplies today.
The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is a magazine that embraces and celebrates the entire homeschooling experience. Our magazine is different from all the rest because we provide beneficial information and assistance in homeschooling, business, wellness, mental health, resources, and life. We encourage you to pick up a copy of our magazine today on Amazon.com by simply searching the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine. The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is all about impacting the world through home-based learning, helping to de-stress the homeschooling experience. Get your copy from Amazon today.
Hey, all aboard. Good afternoon. So we're back, and I want to just give you a quick recap of what all we done been talking about. We have been on with Miss Natali, Childcare Chronicles, and she's from New Orleans, correct? I want to make sure I'm saying that right, because y'all say I said in a southern tone, so I want to make sure I say it right. But she's been talking to us about the behind the scenes of the Childcare Chronicle, about the daycare industry, talking about her staffing and her comeback from when she stopped childcare in 2019 and came back. She's coming back stronger than ever, and she's getting ready to tell us some more details about what she got going on, and we're going to dive in. But before we dive in, I want to tell y'all something. I have a big event coming up for a back to school drive, July the 29th, and we're accepting donations right now. You can help out a young child with school supplies, uniforms, hygiene products. You can cash app us at the EDU Station on Cash App, or you can talk to me and we can give you the PayPal link as well for the Education Station to donate inside of that as well. Our next event, we want to just tell y'all briefly about the event that's coming up on June the 10th here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, right at the Education Station. What? Yeah. So we're having a big business expo vendor event, and it's free for any business owner that's out there that want to showcase their business, and you want somebody to know, hey, this is my product, this is what I sell. We will give you the link to go ahead and put in your application, so that way you'll be set up to come and be in with us on June the 15th. All right. So let's talk to Miss Natali. Oh, the Back to School Carnival fundraiser is on the screen right in front of you, July the 29th, 2023, from 12 to 5. We will have a live DJ, games, prices, and free supplies. And we will be here, and you can donate again at the Education Station Cash App. Thank you, Miss Kathy. All right. So as we went on a commercial break, I had this thought in my head as I was sitting here. I had another question, but I wanted to come back with this question. So we talked to you about the 2019, what happened. You know, some of the people started back reaching out to you. Hey, Coach Natali, I want you to come back. I need some help. I need my child care to get back together. I need some help. So what? I can't even see now on the screen. Sorry, y'all. What was some of the things that was going through your mind when everybody was inboxing you saying, hey, I really need your help. I really need your support in the childcare industry. What made you decide to become a childcare coach?
You want to know something? I have been coaching since 2011, and it just happens in between 2014 15 it became bigger than me. Let me say that. I didn't realize what God was installing in me to be able to give to others. When I'm doing my coaching, one of the things I am very big on is being transparent and telling the truth. That's case in point. That's why I say Childcare Chronicles, because I like to talk about the things that go on behind the scenes. And when I had my peoples reaching out to me needing me to come back, some of the concerns that they had was that I can coach with anybody. It's just that I don't need it to be pretty. I need it to be truthful, and I need somebody to be very authentic and honest with me. And I think that's one of the things that's kept me going for so long, so many years. And on the flip side of that situation, by my people's, I'm gonna call it my tribe. By my tribe, that's in my inbox, they was asking me where I was at, am I coming back? They need my help. I don't think how much they realized that was really motivating me and feeling me to want to come back, because I really felt like at the time frame that I left, the world was different, people were different, and I felt like at that moment I really wasn't needed as much. They made me realize, okay, well, maybe I still have something left in me. And then again, before the new year came in, it was laying in the bed, going through the messages, and it was like, it started to like, okay, God, are you trying to tell me something? And when I woke up the next morning, I had already called my graphic designer. I said, husband, I need you to start taking some pictures. Let's start and I started writing. But when I started writing, that's when I started writing the book. That's why Laws of a Successful Childcare actually started coming in, because I am one of those people. I do have an online program, but I don't really like to train in groups. I think I am a firm believer, I'm a firm believer. If you're paying me to do a job, you need my one-on-one attention. I cannot give you my uninvited attention if it's not one-on-one. I can do maybe 2 to 3 at a time. And when I do take clients, I only take 6 at a time, because it's kind of hard to extend myself when I have other people on the other end that I'm extending myself to. So I want to make sure that I give everybody that comes to me my undivided attention. So when I have my tribe coming to me saying, all right, Miss Nell, it's time to come back, it was time to come back. They say God says when 1 or 2 come in accord, then there has to be some truth in it, and they just kept coming. So all right, here we go. So that's how that happened. I can't hear you.
I love the fact that's awesome. Look, I almost teared up a little bit over here. I'm sorry. Because I feel you on that part. Like when I'm coaching myself and stepping in that arena of, I do like the business coaching part. I work with every business owner. I don't categorize myself as saying, oh, I'm just childcare. No, I work with everyone that's in business. And I learned that I work better when I'm in a smaller tribe than like 20 to 30, 40 people, because I start feeling overwhelmed. You start learning your own way to navigate in this industry. And then to just think they motivated you and they didn't even notice that, hey, I was literally in that pit, that portion of, that's why I say I can be emotional about it, because if it's not for Miss Kathy that's on here that always support me, always, like she'll say, hey, I ain't heard from you. What's going on? Like, what were you at, and they don't understand just a little check-in, just a little, hey, hey girl, you're doing good, you're doing a good job, and you don't know what that person is going through that day. And to have somebody fill your cup up after you fill everybody else's cup by, motivating them and making sure their business stay on tap, that's awesome. Now you dropped something just real quick. You said the book. Now wait a minute, let's go back to this book, because see, I should have got a copy of this book.
Well, I'm about to have, it's not out yet. It's pre-orders right now. So I'm due to have that released sometime in July. So that book is ready, but I wanted to do it differently than how I've done my other books in the past. My new book is called Laws of a Successful Childcare. It has 100 laws in it. 100. I have 100 chapters in it, different laws, because if you're dealing with childcare licensing, they give you the minimum standards, because here in Texas, that's what it's called, minimum standards. They do not, to me, colleges and what childcare licensing teaches us and say that this is how you're supposed to operate your childcare business. It doesn't prepare you for the other stuff, the real meat and bread of the business, the back end office. I'm only talking about the back end stuff that was not taught to me, that I had to find out the hard way. Okay, you cannot look up stuff I learned. You cannot find it on Google. I also noticed there was no other books written, because this will be the first of its kind, and I go into detail. I hold nothing back. Okay,
what?
We can go
Hold on,
anywhere.
drop me 4 laws. Go ahead and drop us 4 laws. I want to hear some of these laws.
Okay, first of all, trademarks, because I'm big on trademarks because I've had some trademark issues in the past. Most of when I talk to our childcare business owners, they're like, well, what do I need a trademark for when it's just a childcare? Well, your name, your business. If you don't own your name, you don't own your business. Let's start with that. And anybody can take your name and monetize off it and turn your name and your business that you work so hard for and turn it to something else. Imagine building a brand. Let's call it sky's the limit childcare. If somebody else trademarks your name, they can come to you and tell you have to shut this down, change the name, change everything.
Hold on, man. I hope y'all writing this down. I'm trying to keep it up here.
They can literally say you need to either change your name or you need to pay me for using my name. Anything can happen if you don't own your name. Build your business on your own land. Yes, and I've been through a few trademark issues in the past to make me want to study it just a little bit more to understand. So now, even when I come up with an idea, even if I haven't even used the name, first thing I go and do, I put the application in for my trademark. I make sure that the domain name is available so I can do a website, the social media platforms, etc., so on, to make sure that I own everything so I don't have to fight for it in the future. Even if I don't use it right now, I'm gonna use it eventually, but it's there.
Right.
So
right. And I learned that too, Miss Natalie, with the education station. I went through a lot because I had to change my name twice.
Do you hear me?
And it's not fun. I tell people, even with Tiny Tigers Learning Center, I had people take the whole logo and slap it on their website, and I'm like, hold on, I did the Tigers. I went wow. You don't even know what that means. You don't even know what it took to be so. I feel you on that one. So drop us another law. What's another law you got?
Another law is if you can avoid using the same designers as other childcare business owners in your field, do so. And let me tell you why. Because I can literally go down my timeline and know who logo, who website, their website, etc., so on and so forth. And what ends up happening is if one person trademarks their logo and trademark the design of the website, and you have all these other people's stuff that looks the same, that graphic designer can get sued. So the graphic designer can be held accountable for using the same font, the same names, the same logos on other people's stuff, and then you have the other people that don't know, they can get sued too. So the money that they paid for this website and logo and any other graphic designs, you will have to take that down, and you lost money, and now you have to pay more money to rebrand. Try to avoid using the same people that everybody in our industry is using. Go outside of the box. I love to go outside of the box.
I like that.
Yeah. One thing I can honestly say, maybe in the past, because I'm only speaking from experience, because I've used the same graphic designers as some others in the past, and my stuff started looking like theirs, and it almost gives the impression, okay, this person copying off of me, you're trying to be like me, you're looking like me, you're stealing from me, etc., so on and so forth. So to avoid that, I don't use the same people in the industry. I go outside the industry, and that's the same thing for my coaching. And when I want to go to conferences, I try to go outside of the box. You learn more when you go outside of the box, because a lot of people gatekeep a lot of things, and you got to keep giving them this to get the information and get the knowledge, versus if I go to somebody else outside of our industry, and this may be contradicting, but it's my truths. They don't find me as a threat. So they'll be more willing to give me the info. They're more willing to say, you should try this person. And then to do your website, you're doing this, and then the first question I will ask these people, have you worked in the childcare industry? And if they say yes, I won't use them. Only if it's a no, I never did it, you'll be my first. I like being the first. We can do something. Let me explain.
I like being the first.
Yeah.
I want to stop you right there, because when you said you got to go outside your industry, let me tell you something. And this person don't like to be spotlighted, but baby, when she was like, I'm finna take your brand bigger than where you at, and we finna go in the trucking industry. This mean the who industry? All I know is childcare. I don't need nothing about no trucks. I ain't never been on no truck. I don't know nothing about a truck. But when she opened my life up to this trucking industry, y'all, it's so many women that needs childcare, that needs our knowledge, that needs the background information. And I was like, here I was scared to step in this territory when I'm the expert. They need me, and here I am just trying to stick myself into this one little bubble, this one little corner. So I love when you said you got to go outside. In the same way with being a different graphic designer, I got like up to 4 different coaches, and I'm like, this coach will tell me this, and they normally speak the same language on some days. Some days I'm like, look, now you telling me to go over here to the north side, and she telling me to go to the south side, and she telling me to go to the east side. Can we all come together? And the same way with, like I said, she opened my eyes to this trucking industry, y'all. And I'm like, man, okay. I wouldn't see myself I was so comfortable where I was. Let me just speak my truth. I was comfortable because it was easy. It was something that I already know. You know what I'm saying? So when you comfortable where you at, you scared to go into that. And I'm speaking to somebody right now that's listening. This me going into that whole deep end with y'all. Stop sitting underneath the same person. Go out and network. Sometimes you find out that, hey, that person ain't just the smartest cookie in the box. There's some more cookies out here that can teach you some more tricks to the game. Because I was sitting there just like, girl, you don't know what you're talking about. You in that truck and I'm over here in that. We ain't mix these people together. And when I got in there, she had an awesome event. Like I forgot how many people. It was 1,000 or so people in this event. Here I am, little old education station sitting over there. Everybody was like, oh my God, I need a workbook. I sold out my table. I had to refresh my table 6 times.
That's a blessing.
At this event. Literally. And I had to go find her and hug her. I was like, come here, girl. I need to get you a hug. It wasn't just about the money. It was just a simple fact. You got me out my comfort zone. And when the mentor of anybody get you out your comfort zone, you got to start being like, okay, everything is possible. That's what I heard from you. Anything outside of here is possible. Mm-hmm. You weren't confined to being like, I'm just going to stick to this person and that's it. No, you branched out. I had to get me a financial coach, a mental wellness coach. I had to get me somebody, a wardrobe stylist. I had to find me a wardrobe stylist because, baby, we think we can dress ourselves sometimes, but not all the time, okay? Then I had to reach out and get me a event planner. Now I got a PR specialist. I didn't even know what a PR specialist was, honey. But they keep me in line. They keep me in line. Look, I got to look up sometimes. They keep me in line. But I also got me a podcast coach. I want to give her a shout out because this lady right here, Tina Ramsey, y'all. If you haven't got her copy of her book, I started reading this book talking about the power of podcast. And just last weekend, it was 2 weekends ago, I went to her fabulous event. When you talk about, I was so happy to be a part of this because it was so intimate. Like, I don't like being at a conference where it's so many people and you don't even get to go talk to the person. You don't get to touch the person. You don't get to know who the person is. She knew who I was. She even had me on her panel. I was like, oh, I get to speak. I spoke 3 times, I think. I get to speak, and not only that, y'all, she even put your girl in the book. She put your girl in the book. I was like, good Dr. Tina. So if you're interested in learning how to podcast, it's not even just about podcasting. It's strengthening your media, like learning how to strengthen your media all together. She got the whole goods in the inside of it, y'all. Everything from your branding board to everything you need to know about just having your media kit together. So her book is on Amazon. Look up The Power of Podcasting. Dr. Tina Ramsey. I hope, she's on here. Hey, girl. But she was a very powerful person. That was another one of my mentors, one of my coaches that we just met from my PR manager. She said, come on down to Atlanta. And we met and all of us, we just kicked it from that day. And I was like, you're going to be my coach. You're going to be my mentor. You're going to help me in this industry because I have no clue about podcasting. And so podcasting is a big multi-millionaire industry. Like This what happens during the pandemic when people couldn't really communicate with each other. They start podcasting, TED talking, and everything else. So thank you, Dr. Tina Ramsey. So Miss Natali,
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Hey, everybody. Great afternoon again. We got Miss Natali. We're getting ready to wrap everything up for you guys. But before we wrap it up, I really wanted to talk to y'all about one other last product that we have that's been one of our top items that everybody's been seeing me showcasing on social media, which is our busy books, our preschool busy books. This is something that is, I know the school year is about to be ending real soon, but again, this is something you can take on a travel kit that you traveling, going to the beach this summer. You're able to take this with you. It's Velcro in the inside of it and be able to teach them their numbers, colors, shapes, still learning as they're enjoying their summer vacation. This busy book binder runs you about $29.99. It has all the contents in the inside of it where they can do this by themselves. Just being quiet in the back seat while you enjoying riding down the road, looking at the scenery. So get your busy book today. My preschool busy book. This is the Dino version. We have different ones. And if you're an educator, this works well with doing school assessments. Yeah. So if you like me and I like to just get messy with everything, I'm big on just like tear it apart. Like take the book apart and tear it off. Here you go. Put it back on there. Put a puzzle. This is easy for a kid to understand how to do their ABCs, how to understand how to put their 1, 2, 3s together, them shapes together, being visual with everything. And not only that, it's so cute and colorful. Who wouldn't want it? So I thank you guys again. You can go on letsgoexpress.org and get your busy book. All right. I thank y'all for giving me that time. And so I wanted to bring Miss Natali back on to talk to her real quick before we wrap everything up, because not only is she's newlywed, she's she's an author, she's a boutique store owner, and not only that, she's also a childcare success coach and also a big time educator. I want to talk about this real quick. Did you ever, when you got into doing the childcare, mm-hmm, what was one of your strengths and what was one of your weaknesses when you first joined the childcare?
My weakness was my mouth. My mouth. When I first started out, I started off in my house. So I started off as an in-home childcare provider. So when you transitioning from in-home to commercial, that's a different ball game. I had to deal with people. Love people, but I don't do a lot of peopling because I have a tendency to feel everything everybody else is going through. So I try to keep a distance, but I'm from the hood. So when you have people coming in your establishment, when I first started in the commercial setting, I didn't lead. I wasn't a leader. I led with ego, not with the proper knowledge. You see what I'm saying? So when someone talking to me crazy, they was talking to my ego. So you catch these hands out here in the parking lot. That was something I had to learn not to do. You know what I'm saying? So after getting out in the parking lot with a few people in the beginning stages of my career, not realizing the impact that I would have in the future, I started putting people in position to where I didn't have to deal with everybody directly. And like even to this day, even in my centers, my daughter or my other director deals with staffing, and if it comes to me, I deem it as an emergency. I'm not so much working in my business. I'm, that old saying, I don't work in it, I'm working on it. So I see everything as a whole. I see the whole chessboard. So I can pretty much see what's going to happen before it happened most of the time. My strength is once I learned to check my ego, I found that I was a great leader. I started learning people's temperament, people's personalities. And once you learn a person's personality, when you learn to understand people, you can reach people. I learned I can't talk to this one the way I talk to this one. I have to do things a little bit differently. So another strength of mine is that I do know how to multitask, and I also know how to what's that word that I'm looking for? Delegate. It's a strength. My strengths have become I know how to delegate, and I also know how to multitask. So leave that right there.
Okay. Yes. Let me hold on. Delegate. That was my biggest problem. Still is at some point. Like I'll be like, oh, you finna do what? You finna do a bulletin board? Let me look at it first. Can you put it out on paper and tell me how you're gonna do it? Send it to me in an email first. But I have to, like you said, just put it on a chessboard and let it play out and be like, okay, who I'm gonna move next, and that's why I wanted to talk to childcare owners that are, like yourself and everybody that can give me insight as well and educate me as well. Like, hey, sometimes you're not gonna always be right, and you gotta have to play a game of chess or two to see. Now, let's see if we can work with this individual. Let's see if we just need to. It's our own ego. Yeah. I like that word. How you said that word. I had to check my own ego because you said the beginning phase, baby. I was ready to fight everybody and their mama. Like seriously, it was that serious because I didn't really have I'm being honest on my own. Didn't have a child care coach. I thought it was the same as me doing it at home because, I was running the daycare at home. I didn't really have to have staff like I have now. Being over 16 staff members and you coming from a home center and it's only you kind of like, okay, what I do with these people? How many people I got to talk to a day? And so I get that. I really do because some people, no one told me the true story. Like, girl, let me tell you, when you come out of that home, it's going to be some problems.
Nobody told
That's
me.
That's why we need that law of child care success book because it's a lot of problems when it comes into and everybody think child care is so easy to start. Mm-hmm. Okay, you just get a child care center. Nope. Different type of mulch you got to use, different type of chemicals you got to use, different type of ways you got to talk to people in the community, and different type of. It's like you put a muzzle over what you used to do, and you got to put the hat on of professionalism. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want to say this, but I can't. I want to do this, but I can't. Oh, so that's when you get your network of childcare friends, and you're like, let me tell you about my day, girl. Let me tell you about my day, Miss Natali. Now you check me if I'm wrong, because what you want to say is so bottled up, and when somebody do, and I'm speaking truth because it's a lot of childcare owners out there that's doing this alone.
They are
doing this alone, and you don't have to be. It's a lot of amazing childcare coaches out here. It's a lot of people that are willing to help you and talk to you and walk you through this life of childcare. You don't have to walk this journey by yourself. When I had Miss Nene Evans, Cynthia Evans, as they know her, come on to the podcast last week, and we talked about it. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because they thought me and her, we supposed to be beefing. No, that's my sister. I love her dearly. We help each other. Like they didn't know, like even our staff didn't know that me and her was this close, like literally this close and talking to each other. And so I tell people all the time, go on YouTube, Google, anything else. But let me tell you, talking to a child care coach is different. I love my child care coach. I love her dearly. I love being able to sit amongst her, to learn from her. Also learn from other educators as well about, what's going on in their centers. And like yourself, I love hearing your story. Like I told you, I said, I was so excited when I go across. I was like, what? She back in child care. I get to talk to Miss Natali. What? And just to see that now you coming out with episodes, because see, you didn't drop that. You didn't talk about your whole episode of your behind the scenes of your childcare, of you getting ready to post that on your YouTube. So we finna get into it.
Yes, ma'am.
So
we've already started filming and everything. I can't wait to release it. Whoops.
Well, I just want to get a sneak peek before anybody else do. I just want to get a sneak peek because I want to be like this with the popcorn. Oh, okay. I know it. But I've been seeing clippings, and I hopefully, you'll come out with the YouTube channel real soon. Real quickly, let me tell y'all, like, share, and subscribe again, because I'm finna ask her this question. How did it feel going around? First of all, your staff, I need their energy some days. For real, for real. Like, man, they was dancing all in the hallway, getting each other hyped up. Who do it? I do it. Who do it? I do it. I was like, okay, I do it too. I'm ready. Come on. So tell me all about the behind the scenes of what's going on, how y'all getting this all put together, and when do it release?
Okay, so what I decided to do was literally go behind the scenes with Childcare Chronicles, because that's what Childcare Chronicles is. We talk about what people won't talk about. So in my center, one of the things I use as a training method is to record my staff. I use it for my marketing. And it also helps them get ready for licensing, because I want them to stay ready. If they're used to people being in there, being inside their classroom recording, and when licensing come in, that's a walk in the park. We have childcare confessionals where I leave room for my staff to be able to vent out their frustrations in a safe place where it won't affect their job. It won't come back on. It won't be used against them, because I find when you're able to release your frustration, you're able to move on to the next thing. The music, the us dancing in the hallway was a part of my music video. We have our own album called it's called the Childcare Chronicles, and that came about with using other people's music for trademark infringements. And every time I post and use somebody else's music, either my post getting flagged, I get tagged from Meta. I've already lost 2 pages already that had over 5,000 people because of using other people's music. So I said, you know what? I'm tired of putting in my disclaimer, I don't own the rights to this music. I don't own the right to this content. So now I can say, when I'm using my own music and I'm filming my own content, I own the rights to the music and I own the rights to the content without getting it flagged, muted, or removed altogether. Because I do get people to this day that still reports my posts or whatever. So now everything that you see on my platforms is authentic. It's mine. Now, if you go into the Reels, that's something different. I find that it's safe to use other people's stuff in Reels, and I'll be proud of you the only spot where you see it. I have my own slight little reality show coming about where we focus on everything behind the scenes, and it's not focusing on the children at all. So I am very much excited about that. This is something that we've been talking about for years. We have a full production crew. They record 3 times a week. So I didn't want to just use all of that beforehand, before the book came out. So everything has its stages. The book I worked on first, then as we go, I put out sneak previews of stuff, and I use it as marketing. But we do have a YouTube channel. It's called Childcare Chronicles. So you'll most likely seeing me post it there on my YouTube channels, and on Instagram they now have where you can do your content and like your podcasting. I will have stuff inside of there also. So I'm excited about all of these new levels that God is elevating me to. I'm able to come out of my box, and I'm also making childcare fun. Not only with myself, because I get bored very easily, but with my staff. My staff they're actually enjoying it. They're actually able to see exactly what they're doing in real time within their classroom, and my parents love it.
I was going to say, how your parents like it, honey?
Parents love it because we're actually showing in real time what their children are doing, and nothing is scripted. This is all happening in real time. Mm-hmm.
I am loving it. So I can't, we're gonna have you back on once you release everything out. I'm having you back on here because I really want to talk to you more about it. And I know everybody wants to hear more about it and see it for themselves. Like she said, she has a YouTube channel, the Childcare Chronicles, so you can start following. And also on her Facebook page, she shares a lot of snippets of. That's how I found out about it on her Facebook. I can't even talk. Facebook page and on her Instagram page, because I seen it on Instagram first, and I was like, "Whoa, what is that?" wait a minute, they got on comeback boots and some more stuff. What's going on? So like I said, I love the whole scene with the kids at circle time, eating lunch, and a whole lot of things. Like I said, a lot of parents, they be like, what happens when I drop my kid off? You actually showing the true footage. So I thank you so very much for, before we wrap this up, how can you be connected, contacted? How can people contact you if they want to talk to you one-on-one services or anything of that nature?
Well, they can reach me on any platform of Childcare Chronicles. Just type in Childcare Chronicles on any one of those pages. I'm very active on all of them. On Facebook, same thing with Childcare Chronicles. Also, Natali Jean-Paul. You can also go to my website at www.childcarechroniclescoaching.com. Let's get started. Follow me, y'all. Follow me.
Follow her, please. Like, share, subscribe, and follow her, because I share her stuff as well. So I want to make sure that y'all are sharing. But I want you to give a word of encouragement to anybody out there that's just like, hey, I'm at my wit's end with childcare, or I want to get into this industry. But what is a word of encouragement you would give that business owner?
Keep going. Don't stop. I know that sounds very, like, people say that all the time. If you feel overwhelmed, it's okay to take a break. Take a break, take a mental break, because your mental health is important. If you're not mentally capable of keep going, take a break. Get with some people that can breathe that life back into you, because I had to do it. You get this in the childcare industry, we get burnt out really quick if you do not follow or really set time aside to either vacation, put other people in charge, and delegate that delegate the work. You have to take time out for yourself and your family, because we all know, and because technically, if you're owning a childcare, you are an entrepreneur. We're giving a lot of ourselves, and we're taking from our families. So take a break, take a breather, and get one with God. Manifest that stuff. I can't say what I want because we live, but manifest that stuff. Okay, let's get it.
I love it. She said manifest it. I love creating vision boards and manifesting and everything else. I love it. I love that you told them to keep going. That's one of my things. Dust yourself off and keep trying it again. If first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try it again. It's okay. We mess up in life. Just get back on that train. As y'all can hear, the train is going by. Choo choo. We were live for real. So, but I did want to just get your testimony real quick about how you enjoyed this podcast, how it made you feel more about opening up and getting out there again with going live and telling people, hey, come see me.
I have to admit, I really love everything that you're doing. Your whole setup, the commercials, this is very professional. I also have been following you for years also, and to see your growth, I am so proud of you. You are really doing a thing. This podcast and your store is going to go to higher levels. I pretty much guarantee that. I can see it. Is the screen frozen? Hello? I think it froze. Oh, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, there we go.
It was
all right.
Thank you. The train was going by. That's why I stopped being. I quiet myself because the train was going by. At the 7:00 train, but the Chattanooga choo choo. Shout them out. Hey, choo choo. But
but what you're doing is great. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sometimes I need to hear that, because like I said, you do all this everything you putting together, all my hard work and everything else. And sometimes you got to be boosted and have your cup filled up and saying, hey, you doing a fabulous job. This is needed for the childcare community as well. So before we wrap this up, I do want to come back in with y'all one more time. Like, share, and subscribe. Share this out to all your families, members, anybody that's interested in childcare, that's want to reach out and contact Miss Natali about the laws of childcare success, because I'm waiting for this book to drop. And also follow her on her YouTube page, her Facebook, Instagram page as well. We'll be sharing this again just so that way you can definitely tune in and get her information. But I want to thank Miss Natali personally for just saying yes and coming on and saying, hey girl, Let's talk. Let's chat. And we definitely going to link up again very soon when we do the back to school drive. I want to have her on just to talk about some things that she's doing for her community as well. We're going to have community support. And we're doing our back to school drive on July the 29th this year, July 29th from 12 to 5 here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The fundraiser is kicking off now. So if you would love to donate, we would love for you to donate. Please send a cash out to the EDU Station. That's EDU Station on our cash app. The back to school drive, the flyer is on there. If you would like to participate or be a vendor as well for the back to school drive, we will also have that information set up for you as well. And before I close out, I want to thank everybody that is tuning in right now, that you did subscribe, that you liked our channel and everything else. This is big support. This, you don't understand. When you subscribe to us, you like us, this going out to everybody, and this is helping a lot of children here as well. We give back as a college fund. This is our first year we'll be giving out a check to a young boy or girl that sends in a submission, an essay about what they want to do with their goals and success in college, high school, or middle school graduate. So if that's you, you got a middle schooler, a high schooler, or a college graduate, and they would like to be a part of this on July the 29th at the back to school fundraiser, we're going to print out some checks, and they will get a check from us on July the 29th. You do have to submit an essay, and we will have you on live on a podcast. So that way people can talk to you and come on and be able to tell you, yes, that's good goals, that's good ideas. So if you have a young student that has graduated from middle school, going into high school, or a high schooler that's going into college, please contact me from the education station at gmail.com. So we'll give you more information about it coming up soon. So thank you. And thank you to our vendors. Everybody that's also been doing the vendor for June the 10th. I want to tell y'all, thank you. Rock Creation. Thank you so very much. And Candy One. I want to make sure Magic One Candy Company. I knew I was one. Magic One Candy Company. They always support. They always my two biggest supporters. Everything I put on, they make sure they support the education station and Tiny Tigers Learning Center. So we want to thank you so very much. And we still have room for more vendor spaces for the June 10th event. All right, Miss Natali. So I'm getting ready to close out. I hope you had a successful day on this podcast. And I want to tell you guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. All aboard the Education Station.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.